Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Silver. I read tarot and oracle cards, and thanks for taking some time to check me out. So for today's video, we're going to be doing a pick a card, and it might call you out a little bit as we are going to be looking at what you need to stop avoiding. So there might be something that you're already thinking about that you're consciously avoiding, or there might be something that you are subconsciously avoiding or procrastinating or elongating more than it needs to be. So this is going to bring that to your attention. This way it'll be very clear the thing that you need to focus on so you can finally just do it, and that'll keep things moving, keep the momentum going on whatever it is that you're trying to move towards. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Let's cleanse the cards, our space, and our mind, and set intentions for providing the most accurate reading of my ability with everybody's highest good in mind. This way we can take a look at what is it that you are either consciously or subconsciously avoiding, and how can you get over this hill. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so here we have piles 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you are familiar with these videos, then you know what to do. You're going to be using your intuition to figure out which one of these piles calls to you the most. That way you can go ahead and check out the timestamps in the description, and whichever one is the one for you, you can just go ahead and skip it over to your reading whenever you are ready. Now, if you are new to these videos, then what you're going to do is you're just going to take a moment. You can pause the video if you need to, and whichever pile is kind of drawing your eye towards it a little bit more, that's probably the one that has the correct message for you. Now, if there's one that you're having a hard time figuring out what it is, I am going to put these crystals on top, and one of the crystals might draw your eyes towards it, but just feel free to take however long you need to figure out. But for pile 1 over here, we have some orichalcite. And for pile 2, we have some flower agate. For pile 3, we have some pyrite. And pile 4, we have some opalite. Okay. So just take a moment. Usually one of these is going to visually just be drawing your eye towards it more. So once you feel like you can't help but look at a specific pile, then you'll know that's the one for you. So like I said, timestamps are in the description below. Also, if you enjoy this video, please be sure to give me a like and a subscribe if you want, but that really helps small growing channels like myself get in the algorithm a little bit more, and I would super appreciate it. But yeah, okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, group number 1, this is going to be a reading, so let's go ahead and figure out what is it that you are avoiding and why exactly you should stop. And maybe how you should stop if you don't already know. So let's see. Okay, so here we have the Death card in reverse. So there's some shift, some transformation that you're not allowing, that you're maybe hesitant to make. Maybe there's some old habits that you've been really wanting to break, and you know, you've thought about it. You maybe have recognized that you want different, but you're just not quite actually like making the full moves to make it happen. Maybe for some of you, there's like little tiny excuses that make it seem like valid why it's taking a little bit longer, or why you can't exactly get started today, or something like that. But there's definitely something that needs to be let go of. And then we have the World card in reverse. Okay, so yeah, there's a chapter of your life that you're not quite ready to say goodbye to, because the World card symbolizes completion and wholeness. And when it's in the reverse, there's something missing there. So maybe you feel like you have some unfinished business, like maybe, okay, this is not all of you, but this is for some of you. So maybe for some of you, you feel unable to move on because you feel like there's something that you need to readdress that has happened in the past. Like one example could be, let's say you want to kind of heal your mindset, right? Maybe you kind of have this mindset where you assume the worst immediately out of what somebody is saying, but maybe it's because you've been hurt by something they have said in the past, and that's something that you're holding on to, and it's not allowing you to transform and move forward. in healing your mind. So this is calling you to go back and address that with that person so you can get closure on the situation, find like completion in it, and allow yourself to heal and move on from that situation. Now that's just one example. So if that applies to you but not in that specific example way, then that still makes sense, but just take the meaning of the example, okay? And then for those of you that is not like unfinished business, then it's just part of you that it's just a part of yourself that you're not ready to leave yet. You feel like you're not ready to close that chapter, and this is calling you to really like face yourself and your thoughts and where you have been and where you want to be, and to just really like acknowledge that disconnect there and kind of try and discover like, why are you so hesitant on letting that go? Is it because that's what was comfortable to you? Is it just all you've known? Here we have the Knight of Cups. So this is about passion, creativity, and also like it can be a romantic card. So maybe that relationship example is kind of accurate for some of you, because it seems like the shift that you need to be going towards is going to be really embracing your passionate side. So again, this could be relationships for some of you. For others, this could be exploring more of your like your creative side, your creativity, getting into your art. Maybe there is some of you that needs to like leave an old job that you feel like you really can't, because maybe you feel like, oh, well, if I just have to get this and this done before I can go. Maybe it's something like that. Or maybe it's what you've been doing for so long and you feel like you can't put as much time as you want to into your art, or whatever brings you that kind of like just like almost like flirty, joyful, like really light, happy energy. So that can be art, that can be games, it can be, a different passion of yours. Anything that gives you like just such a huge happiness in what it is that you're doing. And that can be romance and activity, whatever it is, right? So this is calling you to like let go of the life, or the things in your life, I should say, that has just not felt like so exciting and authentic to you. Let go of those parts, address them, converse about them if a conversation needs to be had, and allow yourself to transition and move into this excited, lighthearted, passionate, and creative energy. And when you're moving into a direction that can also be in reference to like creativity, art, that sort of thing, the romance can still apply, because you're like creating a new love for what it is that you're doing and with yourself. Ooh, and then we have the Nine of Pentacles. So this is a card of joy and abundance, kind of like what we were just talking about. So once you address the thing that it is that you need to address, and you can allow yourself to let it go and transition and move in a different direction, you're going to feel so much more abundant. You're going to be creating more abundance. You're going to be making this move is like you're finally listening to your intuition. So this has been something that's been on your mind, and it's just felt easier to not make the shift. But in all reality, once you make that shift, you're going to be like, oh, why didn't I just do this sooner? Like, this is way better. I feel way less stress, way less pressure on myself, like way less expectations that I'm putting on other people as well, because of the expectations that you feel that you've been kind of putting on yourself. It's just going to lighten things up for you so much. And it's also going to open your mind to be receptive to more like intuitive message, or intuitive knowledge, I should say. So like whenever you show your mind and the universe that you are going to trust your intuition and follow what feels right and authentic to you, the universe loves that. And they're like, oh my gosh, they did it. Like, okay, let's send them more because they're getting it. So we can do this again. And it just creates this like trust within yourself and everything. And it's super duper cool. And then here we have the Four of Pentacles reversed. So I feel like you're going to be letting go of like a scarcity mindset, and that can kind of come with, again, like let's just go back to the job example, right? Like letting go of one particular job or position because you want to move into something that feels more exciting to you. But part of what could be holding us back is feeling maybe scared about money, or maybe scared about what people are going to assume of us. And so we kind of like cling on to and protect the identity of how we are perceived rather than who we know we really are. So making this move, you're gonna go into much more abundant mindset, like this is showing here. So moving away from scarcity and more abundant, lighthearted, joyful mindset. Ooh, and then we have the Page of Swords. So this is like, the swords are about our thinking. What was that sound? Sorry, I don't know if you heard that, but that was a weird sound. Okay, the swords are about our mindset, our like logical thinking, problem solving, all of that. And the Page of Swords is about potential and new ideas and opportunity. So you're going, like, again, showing the universe that you're going to be trusting your intuition. It's going to open up so many more doors for so many new ideas, and you're allowing yourself that time and space and creativity to be more open to, like, well, what if I did make this step? Or let's go with my very first example over here of like, okay, now I address this situation with this person and I feel like I can let go of this, and I can be less like, what's the word? Like when you kind of catastrophize a situation and you kind of always go in the negative mindset or assuming the worst, that sort of thing. Like once you start doing these things by addressing it, allowing yourself to heal, that opens up more space in your mind to be able to receive the information that you need to receive and follow the path that you really want to be on, because now you're not like clouded by all of this extra chatter and anxiety and overthinking and assumptions or whatever it is that's there that like isn't really there, but because of all of our anxiety and what we've been through, it is there. But when you address it and heal, then you don't have to worry about it, and there's so much more space for all of this really helpful information. So again, either way that this message applies to you, it's going to be opening up your mind for more potential and opportunities and ideas. Okay, what else do we have here? The High Priestess, so definitely getting more in touch with your intuition for sure. This is also a card of just like calm, peaceful energy. Like she is super connected to her intuition, but she is just chilling. She knows what is best for her. So I think this is going to be a time frame that feels more peaceful to you as well once you kind of make this transition. Okay, hold on, I dropped the cards over here. Okay, and then we have the Hanged One. This is going to be like a shift in perspective. So again, once you are making these moves, and like I said, it's going to be opening up your mind to new ideas with the Page of Swords over here. This is like shifting in a new perspective. Like you're going to be seeing things in a completely different way. Maybe even some of your opinions or the way that you have viewed things in life might be shifting as well because of this new time, this new era that you're entering once you allow this transition. Because think about it, like if you're constantly resisting the change and feeling stuck in a place where like there's something left to be done, or like you can't quite leave it for some reason, you get kind of stuck in a certain place mentally, and that kind of stunts you for growth, as far as like being able to perceive things a certain way and understand different perspectives, and being able to heal, that sort of thing. So making all of these shifts, you're getting more in tune with your intuition, your trust, you're shifting your perspective, and you're going to be ready for so many more new ideas and opportunities. And again, I think it's just going to be a really joyful, like abundant time for you. Okay, and then we have the Tower card. Okay, so I think maybe one reason why you have been avoiding this situation is because it's going to be a little bit hard. Maybe it will feel like it's gonna make some situations in your life like take some steps back before they take a step forward. And that's okay, because in reality, it's not taking steps back. Even if it feels like it, it's just, again, taking you in the correct direction. Sometimes before something new can be created, the old thing has to be destroyed, right? And so that's what's representative here from the Tower card. And the good thing about the Tower card is that's like, it's a change that needs to happen. Like the foundation is crumbly and it was gonna fall anyways. And so this is just that sudden change, that upheaval of something that's no longer serving you. So I think that's why this has been a little bit easy to avoid, because it feels just a little bit more scary to make that transition. That feels scarier than it feels scary to stay where you're at. But that's only because you don't even have the space in your mind to really understand just how beneficial this is going to be for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into some oracle cards and see what else we get. Here we have conviction. So knowing exactly what it is that you want for yourself and staying true to that. Like staying true to what it is that you want for yourself, rather than maybe what other people want for you or the expectations that have been put on you. We have eudaimonia, momentum, and boundaries. Okay. So basically, the boundaries card kind of goes along with what I was saying over here with conviction. Is like, stay true to that. Respect your own boundaries. So like, don't say yes to things that don't feel good to say yes to. If you're like overcommitting yourself, right? Like, obviously we want to be there for people. We want to help people when we can. Like, I'm not saying to not do that. What I'm saying is if it means that you are overcommitting yourself and you can't fully fill your cup and take care of your needs and do whatever is most important to you because you're constantly putting other people before you, that is disrespecting your boundaries, and you're not going to be able to make the forward movement that you need to make. So that is super connected here. And then when we have eudaimonia and momentum, eudaimonia is about like your true happiness, doing things that just feel totally correct to you and your authenticity, and like I said, just saying yes to the things that feel really, really good. And then here we have momentum. So this is about staying in a keeping momentum, but even if it's really small baby steps, and acknowledging that even if it's really small baby steps, it's still super, super helpful and beneficial. And even though they can be really small baby steps sometimes, at least you're still making forward movement, and that's just gonna help continue this progress. So even if it feels like things are kind of not moving forward, or like I said, even taking steps backwards, like, don't allow that to take over your thought process in your mind, because then that'll shift things in a different direction. Because what we continue to tell ourselves becomes our reality. So if you're constantly telling yourself like, oh my gosh, this is going nowhere, well, then it's not going to go anywhere. But if you can recognize like, okay, this feels tough right now, but you know what? I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, because as long as I give it my all, I know I'm going to be okay. And it'll work out that way. Okay, let's do this other deck here. Here we have luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius. And actually, we just got into Sagittarius season, so that's exciting. So if you're watching this video in the current time, these are timeless videos. So whenever you watch this, this is fine. But if you are happening to watch it on the day or around the day that I upload it, then I find that interesting. But luck is on your side. So that's just, again, kind of like repeating that. As long as you stay true to yourself and do what feels right to you, it's going to be okay. What do you need to release? That fear of changing. You need to release that that fear of changing. And I think part of that comes from maybe like not really believing in yourself, having a little bit of self-doubt. Let's see. Not believing in the like capability of yourself. Let go of that. And then be bold and make the first move. Okay, so quit waiting for the perfect time to like make this transition. Make the first move. So if you need to have a conversation with someone, go up to them and say, hey, I would really like to talk to you about something. either do it then or say, can we like plan a time for this? Even if it's gonna feel so uncomfortable and weird, do it, okay? And then if you are needing to move from a different job, or maybe you wanna move to a different town, or whatever it is that you wanna change, literally just do it. Don't wait for the perfect timing, because there's never going to be the perfect timing. There's always going to be something that like, oh, well, too bad that's happening. Like maybe I should wait until like next week to let them know that I'm going to be doing something else. There's always going to be stuff going on. So quit procrastinating, make the first move, and watch how far that takes you. Okay, let's get into this last oracle deck here. We're just going to pull one card. Let's see. Interdependence. Okay, so this card is representative of you, and interdependence, this indicates like finding that independence within yourself. Knowing when to ask for help is super important, knowing that you can have a support system, and you do have a support system, and it's really important to lean on them when you need to, but also having the strong sense of self and independence to where you know you can approach a person and tell them what you need to tell them, and feel proud of yourself for doing it. Feel very like strong in the words that you speak. Don't doubt yourself in it. Having the strength and independence to go to a place of work and say, yeah, I actually am going to be leaving. Or going to your family and saying, you know what? I am going to be moving to a different city because I know this is what's best for me. I want that independence. And just finding that courage and strength within yourself of staying like true to you and whatever it is that you need to communicate. Or if this is something that you don't need to communicate and you are just making this transition as far as like letting go of bad habits, that kind of thing, like find that strength within yourself. Like, you know you can do it, and you just have to make the first move to make that happen. Don't wait for the perfect time. And this is really a time about finding that balance between positive independence and also knowing that you have a support system that you should be able to confide in and lean on in difficult times. So that is your reading for today, group number 1. I really hope you enjoyed this. I am definitely sending you all the love, as I know how tricky this exact situation can be. So yeah, be sure to give me a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed the reading. Please leave me a comment down below if you resonated with this, and I would love to hear what's going on with you. So yeah, with that being said, I will see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, group number 2, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and get into it and see what is it that you are avoiding. Okay, so here we have the 4 of Cups. So this indicates that you are ignoring your intuition. Okay, we also have the Page of Swords reversed, and then the 4 of Pentacles in the upright. So I believe you are kind of in a mental block right now, and I think these ideas as far as how you can move more towards your goals and just anything that you're trying to achieve, anything that you want to shift and change in your life right now. So whether short-term goals or long-term goals, your intuition is giving you signs. There are opportunities in your life. So not only your mental intuition, but like the universe is presenting these things in your life that is giving you the opportunity to trust your intuition and make these changes, make these moves forward to allow this like decluttering of the mind. Like, and that's going to bring you to a place of safety and security. But however, right now you are really holding on to whatever it is that you currently have, because that's giving you a sense of safety and security. However, I don't think what is currently going on is meant for you. I do believe the only reason there's like this sense of security is because it's just where you've been, and it's what you know, and you've been maybe doing this for a while, or maybe you feel committed to it due to like outside perceptions or whatever it may be, right? It's causing you to ignore your intuition and like ignore what it is that you want to be doing. So I feel like the moments in life that have been presenting you with times to trust this is maybe the times when like you are wanting to say no to somebody, or wanting to like speak up for yourself, or this could be, for example, like this could be a bunch of different things, right? So take it how it resonates for you. So another example could be like, maybe you want to respond emotionally different to things. Maybe you're feeling a little bit emotionally reactive, and you don't want to be that way. And that's causing some confusion and upset within yourself because you know you don't want to be that way, but healing and change is hard, and you almost feel more safe in this mode because that's like your safety reaction. Like, especially if you've been through some stuff, your brain is literally trying to protect you. So that's why sometimes people can react reactionary, and that can give you a false sense of security. So however this makes sense for you, it's time for you to, in order to get out is to go through it. So yeah, basically in order to change, you really need to face these things and trust your intuition and move in the uncomfortable direction, because even though it's temporarily uncomfortable, it's only going to feel like way better than anything in life does now, because it's actually what's meant for you. Just that initial shift is uncomfortable. Okay, and then here we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. This is also giving like major overprotecting energy. This could be a sense of not wanting to push through and like persevere through the hard things because you're kind of like protecting yourself, maybe like your peace, if that makes sense. But I feel like in reality, this is actually holding you back even more. So again, it's like this false sense of security of staying where you're at, because pushing outside of your comfort zone, outside of the norm, feels more scary, because it's just different. So I think there's this false sense of like security there. So this is really calling you to kind of do the opposite of what you have been doing, or maybe not necessarily the opposite, but shift away from that. Trust your intuition when you know that, like, okay, I think you can sit down and you can recognize that however this applies to you, that particular thing in your life is not lining up how you want it to. Like, maybe you're not, like I said, reacting in a certain way. Maybe you're not happy with the people you surround yourself with. Maybe you're not happy in your place of work, whatever it is. Really, like, acknowledge that feeling and allow yourself to think about how you do want it to look like and feel. And then once you can get that figured out, then take a look at how you're feeling now, okay? And you're gonna see that there's a disconnect there. So this is calling you to be aware of that disconnect and just start thinking and making moves towards a way you can bridge the gap instead of having it just be a thought. Here we have the Two of Pentacles. So you're needing some more balance in your life. Maybe even like for some of you, this is like work-life balance. Maybe that sense of security comes from, you know, I'm working really hard. I don't have to think about all the stressful things in my life, or I don't have financial issues because at least I'm working a ton. The Pentacles can also represent money. So that sense of security can be like, oh, well, I have enough money. I have a savings. I have, you know, what it is I need to pay my bills. So for some of you, this can talk about that. Maybe that sense of security is because you're working so hard, but if you're overworking yourself, it's going to put you in a place of feeling like you want to give up. However, it's hard to let go of that because you're trying to protect what you've worked so hard to achieve. And so there's that imbalance, that work-life balance is not quite there. Or if this doesn't have to do with work, then just like, where are you investing your time? This is still a balance of where is your time going? Where is your energy going in your conversations, the way you handle interactions? Are you making sure you're taking some time to do the things that bring you joy? And okay, sorry, that was like the second time I've had to cut this reading already, because earlier it was my cat, and then this time it was my dog. But at first I thought it was my husband talking to me, but he's asleep, so I don't know what's happening. Anyways, so I kind of forgot the exact last thing I said, but I'm just gonna continue on with where we were at. Okay, so if I repeat myself, sorry. So then if you are not the first option with time management and work, then this is calling you to take a look at where are you putting your time and energy. Are you making sure you're having time for yourself? Are you making sure you're having dedicated time for your family and your friends and the things that you actually want to spend time with, right? So, and not just being with them, like, are you present? Are you fully aware of how these interactions are going? That kind of thing. So this is really calling you to take a look at the time management balance in your life, and to kind of let go of these things that are giving you this false sense of security. And the reason I bring up being present is because that's super important. Because if you're with these people or doing things that you love, but maybe you're on your phone the entire time, you're not actually enjoying it. Like, okay, of course we can have good times on our phone, but if this is every time, then are you really observing the people around you that you love the most? But it feels more safe to doom scroll. So that's kind of why we do it sometimes. So that's kind of what this is calling out when I talk about like that false sense of security. And then here I have the 8 of Cups. So it's time to walk away from this. This is no longer serving you. You're feeling tired. You know that this is not the way that you want your life to look, and it's time for you to make movement forward. We have the 9 of Swords, talks about anxiety and depression. And I feel like with where you have been in life, it's kind of keeping you in this loop of feeling anxious, maybe feeling like you're missing out, maybe because you are kind of checked out, or again, your time management's just all over the place. And that's causing you to overthink and just be in a place of feeling really overwhelmed. And yeah, it's really time to walk away from these choices and these things that you have been doing, because it's wasting your time and it's making you feel really sad. I mean, you're recognizing that your time is being wasted. You're not spending it how you want it, and you're building this like resentment towards yourself and towards the things in life because it just feels unfair. Now we do have the Sun card. I love that. So walking away from anxiety and depression and moving towards joy, authenticity, and happiness. And just like, the cool thing about the Sun card is it just shines a light on everything in the reading, so it lightens everything up. So just remember that through this process, even though it may feel challenging, it's gonna feel uncomfortable because it's different. Like, it's also, after those first moves that you make, it's gonna feel so freeing and so exciting, and it's gonna motivate you and just bring you more and more joy that you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so glad I started doing this. I'm gonna keep doing it because this actually feels good. And then you're just gonna get to a place where you're just really happy and feeling more true to yourself. So let's go ahead and get into some oracle cards and just see what else we have come up. A time for healing. So allowing yourself to grieve the moments that you missed out on, that you feel like you wanted to be there for, but not being mad at yourself for it. It's okay to be sad about it, but you have to let go of it and know that it's okay, and make space and energy for the forward movement. To stay in the past is to be stuck. Like, if you're constantly thinking about the what ifs and what could have been, there's no way you're going to be able to be present in the future. That's just, again, being stuck. So make time for you in the now and let go of what wasn't. Like I said, it's okay to be sad about it. You just have to address it and be okay with it and move forward. Then we have luck is on your side. So recognize that, again, even when it feels really hard or tricky, that if you're staying true to yourself and making those right choices, that you're gonna be okay. Everything will work out as it is supposed to. You and your loved ones are safe. So moving away from what feels comfortable to you, like, again, for those of you, this is like you're overworking yourself because you're at least making enough money for your family or whatever it may be. Recognize that if you make this change, that like, y'all are gonna be okay, you're gonna be safe, because when you're doing the things that actually make you happy and bring you joy, and you're really like prideful and happy about that, it works out and you guys are gonna be doing great anyways. And if that doesn't apply to you, then whatever shifts it is that you're making and moving away from and moving towards, that it's all going to be okay. Even through the ups and downs, like, you're okay. You guys are safe. And I think that's something that you can tell yourself too whenever you're having a hard moment. Remind yourself, like, I am safe. It is okay. Ooh, we also have clarity. This lines up right with the sun card. And they both have citrine. Look at that. I didn't even... Some of these, like, don't always line up, but this lines up. So I love that. So maybe keep some citrine on yourself. If you're a crystal person, that could be really helpful in bringing out that more lighthearted, joyful side of yourself. But again, just getting more clarity on what it is that you want for yourself, stepping into a place of authenticity. And once you start making choices that align with your authentic self, then you gain more clarity on the next move it is that you need to make to kind of keep that momentum going. We have eudaimonia. This also talks about happiness and joy and just fulfilling your time with the things that mean the most to you. And then we also have transcendence. So transcendence is like a card of leveling up, raising your vibration, moving away from one thing to another. It's also connected to the crown chakra, so trusting your intuition, just like this card over here, the Four of Cups, was saying. You need to tune out all the noise, be in the present moment, and trust your intuition. That is the best thing that you can do for yourself at this time. We're going to do one of these cards here. This one is just gonna kind of represent you. Soul contracts, the destroying angel. Okay, so all this means is that this is one big life lesson that you are meant to learn. So the things that you are facing now and that you are wanting to move away from, they are going to continue to happen until you make this shift. As annoying as that is, that everybody has those certain things in their life that they are supposed to learn. Specific situations or things are going to continue to come up until somebody learns that life lesson. So that's just kind of how it is. That's what this is telling me here, that even though this is really irritating and frustrating and it feels like it's holding you back, maybe it's caused some problems in your life and in some relationships, that it is all there for a higher purpose and a higher reason, basically to help you come to terms with where things are at and face your subconscious mind a little bit, and it makes yourself connect more and it makes you think, what can I do different? And then it really helps you evolve and grow. So that is going to be your reading group number 2. Normally, I really try not to edit my videos, but I will have a couple of them in here because of my pets. So sorry about that. But anyways, I really hope you enjoyed the reading. I will be sending you so much love because I know how tricky this kind of thing can be. Please give me a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed this, and let me know in the comments below how this resonated. But with all that being said, I will see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, group number 3, this is going to be your reading on what are you avoiding, and stop it. So let's go ahead and see what we get. Okay, here we have the 3 of Pentacles. So I feel like you're maybe a bit of a private person. Maybe you keep to yourself. Maybe you don't really like to ask for help. Maybe when things are tricky, like you keep it to yourself and you just try to be like, well, I'm just gonna figure it out. I'm gonna solve the problem. So that's kind of some energy I'm getting from you. And then here we have the Fool card upright, and then we also have the Hierophant in reverse. Okay, so this is calling you to kind of let go of that, like let go of your ego, or like your sense of pride, maybe feeling that you have to do things one way. Like let go of that seriousness. And allow yourself to like open up to others. Know that it's okay to collaborate with other people and to ask for help. And yeah, just kind of let go of that like loner energy. I feel like that has some walls put up around you. Maybe these are like emotional walls, maybe It just makes it a little bit trickier to build friendships or relationships, or maybe if there's a project that you're wanting to work on or work towards, or some type of work that you want to be in, however this applies to you, sometimes that involves networking and getting to know other people who have done the same. And instead of seeing it as competition, see it as, community that you can build on. And then we have the Fool card. So this is about taking positive risks, new beginnings, and doing it with an open mind. So this is a very spontaneous, lighthearted, joyful card. And I feel like right now you are kind of in this place of like being very serious and trying, like really just focusing on you and trying to get it all done. And then the Hierophant in reverse calls us to kind of do things in a way that doesn't quite look like the societal expectation or the social norm or whatever it may be. It's kind of like being sometimes a bit of a rule breaker, but also just like going in your own route, your own unique path. So I feel like this is kind of like letting go of maybe the way that you have been and allowing yourself to kind of let go, just be more free, follow. I feel like this is something that's been on your mind, some direction that you're wanting to move into that isn't maybe what others would expect of you, or maybe moving in a direction that others wouldn't really expect of you. And there's some resistance to that because you have just been like, I don't know, this is how I have been, and it almost feels uncomfortable to do something else. And again, those walls are just kind of put up. Yeah, the Empress reverse. So the Empress is a card of abundance and intuition and just like calm, nurturing energy. So I feel that you're really lacking that with yourself. You need to be more kind and empathetic and loving and mothering to yourself. You really need to nurture that side of like the what am I saying? You need to nurture like your childhood self. That's kind of coming up. Don't be so rough. Don't be so tough all the time. It's time to kind of let go and allow yourself to go in the direction that like brings you actual interest. Don't be so hard on yourself. And then we have the Knight of Wands. So this is about inspired action, forward movement towards the things that bring you joy. So once you can kind of let go of these expectations, and I feel like these are expectations you put on yourself and also expectations of others. Once you let go of that, you're gonna be healing. You're gonna have a more optimistic mindset. Things are just gonna feel like a weight off your shoulders, and you're gonna feel inspired and just have so much motivation. And we have pyrite here. That was the crystal on your card. This is a crystal of motivation and action, and that's what the Knight of Wands is about. So I really feel like once you can let go of and get out of this box that you have been in for a while, it's just going to be so motivating and liberating. Here we have the Two of Pentacles. So this is calling you to kind of take a look at your time management. Where are you putting your time and energy? Are you putting it into the things that bring you joy and the things that you love, the people that you actually love? Or is it all going into one place where it's not balanced? Maybe you're putting all your time into work. Maybe you're putting all your time into your friends, where there's not enough time for you. There's not enough time for your hobbies, whatever that looks like for you. Where are you putting your time and energy? Here we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is a card of abundance and joy. So again, I feel like once you kind of let your guard down, everything else is going to balance out, and you're going to feel so much more happy, so much more abundant. You're going to be like, why didn't I do this a long time ago? Life doesn't have to be so serious, and it doesn't have to be so exact. There's no one way to achieving things. It's okay if things happen in a different timeline. It's okay if you wanted to do one thing and then you change your mind all of a sudden. Here we have the Knight of Pentacles. So that's again motivation and forward movement, taking action. The Pentacles have to do with money and the physical things in our life. So I feel like for some of you, once you kind of let your guard down and don't get so technical and serious about whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in your life, that's actually going to work out better for you and bring in more opportunity for abundance and just creating and cultivating the life that you want to have, having the things that you want to have. Yeah, definitely it's time to just like let go and just be a little bit more lighthearted. 9 of Wands. Okay, so 9 of Wands. Definitely you have been, like, you're pushing through, you're persevering. This has been really tiring on you, but like it's time to let the mask go. That's the word. Sorry, it was taking me a minute to figure out how I was gonna say that. Like, take the mask off, let yourself be you. It's okay to not be on all the time. It's okay to not always know exactly what to say, how to say it, when to say it. Like, let go of perfection. Let go of putting all the pressure on yourself. Definitely keep pushing through. And, you know, when you keep pushing through in the right direction, as far as pushing through on respecting your boundaries of time management, pushing through on embarking on the things that bring you joy, not staying where you're at, getting yourself out of your comfort zone and getting more of a community as in the things that you like, or reaching out to friends and family when you need help, that kind of thing. Pushing through in that is good because it feels uncomfortable, but you always are going to feel much more fulfilled and happy afterwards, right? And eventually it's not going to feel uncomfortable. It's just going to be like, I can't wait to do this. However, what you are currently doing, that's still causing you a lot of burnout and to push through really hard. But that one is going to lead down a path of wanting to give up and just feeling really resentful. So this is calling you to move in this right direction, be more vulnerable, and just allow space for this like more fun, happy, authentic self. Here we have the Page of Wands in reverse and the 10 of Swords. Okay, so Page of Wands is about new opportunities coming up. However, when it's in the reverse, there can just be like a little bit of a mental block to that. Maybe like, okay, yeah, it's knowing how you want things to be, but it's not making the moves. It's not taking action. So you're having the ideas, but you're not actually taking the action for it, right? And so when you continue on that path, that's just gonna make you feel like okay, the original imagery in this card is this guy laying on the ground and these 10 swords are stabbing him in the back and there's blood everywhere, right? It's horrible, painful endings. However, it is an ending. It's an ending of a hard time. So basically what these two cards are telling me is that no matter what, this is coming to an end. You can either embrace it and like push through it all with excitement and joy and knowing that this is going to bring you in the right direction, or you can go through this change unwillingly and it's going to feel way more hard and way more painful when there's all this resistance there, and it's just going to feel like chaotic. But when you can embrace that and know that this change is inevitable and meant for you, it's going to make this way better and way easier. Okay, let's get into some oracle cards, see what else we get here. Here we have transcendence. So that's like leveling up. It's raising your vibration, getting more in touch with your intuition. Just kind of like being in a place of like, yeah, transcendence, exactly what it's saying. You're transcending. Opening up your mind to new perspectives and new understandings. Here we have eudaimonia. This is so funny. This has come up for every other card reading so far. And we also have clarity. Okay, eudaimonia is a card of happiness and joy, authenticity, so doing the things that actually feel right for you. And then here we have clarity. This is a card connected with the sun. So again, that's about like authenticity and joy. That's what the sun is all about. And whenever you embrace those things, you just get more and more clarity on your life the people around you, just everything starts to make more sense. You start to be able to make choices easier. Everything just makes more sense. Okay, what do we get from here? Meditate and contemplate. So maybe taking time to meditate or journal, if meditating isn't really your thing, could be really beneficial, because, you know, if you have all of these thoughts going on in your mind, it can be really hard to get that clarity, because it's just like one thought after another, or even on top of each other sometimes. At least that's how it is for me. Sometimes I'm like, what is happening in my brain? But anyways, so if you get it all on paper, you can take time to meditate and work through it all. That gives your brain the space to like, okay, I'm acknowledging this, I'm writing it down, I can think about it another time, or I'm acknowledging it and I'm letting it go. Like, that opens your mind for new information to lead you in the right direction. So definitely take time to just look inward a bit. How can you become more vulnerable and more open? Why are you currently so closed? The end of a tough cycle approaches. What the heck? I always love these little, when it syncs up like that. So yeah, this is an inevitable ending, and it'll be a good one because it needs to end. That's what's best for you. And then your hard work is paying off. 2 Capricorn cards. So this is definitely a time of hard work, dedication, and discipline. And that's what this is going to take to be successful in this. So definitely really gain some clarity on what it is that you want, and figure out how you're going to achieve that, and stay dedicated to it. This is like a time of kind of testing your commitment to yourself. Okay, we're going to do one last card. This card's going to represent you and what you're moving into. Soul contracts, the destroying angel. Okay, so this basically means that the situation happening in your life is meant to happen because you need to learn this lesson. So until you can make these changes, make these moves, this is going to keep happening until it just gets to where it feels impossible to handle anymore. Kind of like what I was saying. You can either embrace change or you can resist it, but either way it's going to happen, and it's just going to make you want to learn this lesson more and more every single time, if that makes sense. So yeah, that was your reading group number 3. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a like and subscribe if you did. Also, let me know in the comments how this resonated for you. I'd love to hear all about you and what's going on. So yeah, with that being said, I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye. Okay, group number 4, this is going to be your reading on what are you avoiding. So let's dive right into it. Okay, we have the 5 of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune. Let's go ahead and pull another card before I get into it. And 9 of Wands. Okay. Okay, so there are some cycles that need to be addressed. And I do see the ending of these cycles coming. What the heck? I do. What was I trying to say? I do see the end of these negative cycles. I'm going to say happening. Okay, maybe that's what I was trying to say. And the 5 of Swords can kind of indicate like, yeah, maybe we're winning. Maybe we're achieving the things that we want to achieve, but at what cost? Are we taking shortcuts? Are we wearing ourselves thin? Are we, like when I say that, are we overcommitting ourselves to one thing and that's kind of burning us out? Or are we doing it in a way that's kind of like bossy and demanding of others? The 9 of Wands is a card of perseverance and pushing through, and can like really working hard. You can kind of feel in burnout a little bit with this card, and so that's why I'm kind of bringing that up. But the 5 of Swords is a victory, but it's kind of like, make sure that you are going about it in a mature way. And the Wheel of Fortune is about like yeah, ending negative cycles or having new cycles, beginning positive cycles. This can also be a card of like abundance, money, that kind of thing. So I feel like whenever you kind of can shift your perspective from one that doesn't always have to be the best or winning. You're going to be able to embrace more of an abundant lifestyle, because you're able to find more gratitude in what you have right now and in the present moment. Don't continuously overwork yourself and put yourself in a position where you're exhausted and maybe mentally not feeling your best and feeling really burnt out, but at least you're like, you have what you want, right? Or at least you're getting closer to achieving what you want if you don't already have it. But what this is calling you to do is like, let go of that. Let go of continuously needing more. Let go of overworking yourself to where you feel like you can have what it is that you need, and find time to be grateful for what you have in the current moment. Because when you can find everything in your current life as a win, even if it's small, even if it feels like a step backwards, to find something to be grateful about that experience, because it's only going to help you in the long run, that is that like actual winning energy. That is actually creating abundance and happiness and opportunity to continuously be in receiving mode, when you can be forever thankful and grateful for what is right in front of you right now. Okay, let's pull some more cards and see what else you get. Oh, and it's going to make you feel way less overwhelmed and exhausted, because you're like, wait, like I'm actually really am happy and thankful for where things are at right now, and I'm going to keep working hard, but I don't feel like miserable if I'm not working hard. Oh, and then we have the Lovers card. Oh, I just love this art on this card so much. It's so cute. So then we have the Lovers card. So this is going to be bringing in some more love into your life with yourself, and maybe even with the people around you. This could also be talking about the way that you are communicating with a loved one, as far as like, pick your battles. That could be one. Maybe you're feeling like you're overworking yourself and exhausted, because maybe you're constantly trying to be the right one, but sometimes you're not the right one. Or sometimes there is no right one, and it's just about coming to a place of like agreement. That could be a negative cycle that you're getting away from, is the communication breakdown and conflict, or just any type of communicating between yourself or a relationship. That goes either way. And then we also have the Page of Swords. So once you can kind of let go of your expectations that you are putting on yourself and others, and you can be grateful for what you have in the moment, and you can just bring in more empathy and like compassion and not such a harsh mindset into things, that's going to open your mind. Once you can let go of any grudges or resentments or expectations, that opens your mind to be open to new perspectives, ideas, and opportunities. But right now, with where things have been, it's a little bit closed off. And then we have the Knight of Swords in reversed. So again, that's kind of like fast moving thoughts, maybe feeling a little bit scatterbrained, just not fully sure of the direction it is that you are moving in. So again, I really think this is a time to like bring more compassion and like gratefulness into your life right now. The Ten of Pentacles reverse. Ten of Pentacles talks about like family, and when this is in the reverse, there can be a disruption in that. So I do think for a lot of you, this is going to be, how are you communicating with yourself and with your family? That needs to be addressed. You no longer need to, let me back up. Put love into yourself the way that you need to, so you are no longer feeling like you have to be always winning or always have it your way, always in complete control of things to feel safe. Find a way to heal that part of you, or at least start addressing that part of you, so you can let go and not be so rigid. And that's just going to create more flow in your life. You need to go with the flow, and that's going to bring in more opportunity for abundance and love and happiness, fulfillment. yeah, I just feel like things are a little bit too uptight, a little bit too harsh in your mindset and in your communication. Okay, let's see what else we're doing. Then we have the Three of Swords, so it's a time to heal. Let go of your past wounds and maybe past conflicts that you have. Queen of Swords, gain clarity on what it is that you want in life. Like, take a time to just sit to yourself and think about, like, okay, how does my ideal conversation with somebody go? How does my ideal mood, how is my ideal mood when I'm around the people that I love? Think about those things. And then you can try and think about, how am I currently feeling in those situations? And then something you can practice is like, okay, well, I can at least think about how I want to feel. So I'm gonna try and emulate that feeling as much as I can right now. Start bringing yourself into that future self. Merge the two together. Heal these wounds and allow yourself to be the person it is that you know you are and that you want to be. Then we have the Queen of Cups. So this is emotional maturity and balance and control. So yeah, this is really about getting in touch with your emotions. It's time to stop avoiding that. You need to not be in like fight mode. I feel like it's almost like a sense of defensiveness that I'm kind of getting. A sense of like, well, it has to be like this because that's the best way. And maybe it is the best way, but like, it's okay. Let go a little bit. I just feel like there's this big sense of like anxiety, urgency, that like it has to be like this, or I know I'm right, like maybe getting caught up on the very specifics of a conversation. Like, it's okay, let it go. So let's get into some oracle cards and see what else we got going on. Consciousness. So getting, again, what I was saying a little bit ago is like, take some moments to yourself to figure out, ask yourself the questions I was saying, right? And that's diving into your subconscious mind. Why do you feel that way, do you think? What events happened in your life to cause you to feel like this? If you can't think of any, then that's okay. Just think about how you are currently feeling and ways you can kind of let go of that. Then think about what current moments bring up that feeling in you now. But just connecting with your subconscious mind and trying to bring that to the conscious part of your brain so you can work through it. Initiation. You have to make the first move for anything to happen. You can't just wait for change to happen. You have to make the moves for it, even when it feels uncomfortable, or even when you get it wrong. Being able to work through that insight. Yeah, definitely meditate. Take some time to yourself. Journal if that's your thing. Just whatever feels. I'm just gonna leave it at that and get into our next deck. But whatever feels right, like this is what you need to really address, is yourself and your thought process and your emotions, and how you are bringing that energy to the people around you. Take time to breathe out. Confidence is your key to success. Okay, so literally, like, when things get hard, actually like breathe in, breathe out, like deep breaths. It might feel annoying at first if that's something that you've never really implemented. At least sometimes if I'm frustrated, like doing the little things, I'm like, I don't want to. But I have been trying to do it for a little while now, and it really does help. It helps my boys and it helps me whenever I remember to do it. So definitely, like, actually take some deep breaths, okay? And then confidence is your key to success. So believing that you can do it, believing that you are capable, and really presenting yourself in that way. Like, for example, let's say there's a conflict that you want to address with somebody. Being confident in the way that you're bringing it up to them without being harsh is going to be really, really important, because then they can people are going to take you seriously, and they're not going to be, I mean, some people may still like be defensive or whatever, but that's a them thing, okay? But more often than not, people are going to be really receptive to it, to what you have to say, and you can do it with kindness and confidence. Here we have meditate and contemplate, and then the end of a tough cycle approaches. So you definitely need some healing, and then once you do that, things are going to start feeling way lighter and easier, and life is just going to start flowing a bit better. So we're going to do one more card. This card is going to kind of represent you and this situation. Drop the drama. Okay, yeah, so this definitely talks about like, let go of all the excess stuff. Let go of all the excess urgency that doesn't need to be there. Really ask yourself, like, why am I in such a hurry? Why does this have to be perfect? Why does this have to be this exact way? Why can't we deviate from what my mind has already made up? Like, let go of all of that. Ask yourself these questions and recognize that, like, life is not that serious, okay? It is gonna be okay. This might be a really difficult thing to work through, but please see these difficult moments as opportunities to work on the hard thing. And when you can see it that way and be grateful for that moment and be like, oh my gosh, this sucks, but guess what? I get to practice being exactly who it is that I know I can be. And the more you can do that, the better and easier things are going to be. But this one is definitely like this reading here is definitely like okay, it's time to face myself and recognize that I don't really like how I have been and I want to change that, and that's okay. There's definitely no shame in not liking how you have been reacting or responding or perceiving things. That's totally fine. It is okay. Do not be mean to yourself. Don't be mean to anybody. Just bring some more love into the situation with yourself and others, and just really start letting go of all the excess drama and allow yourself to go with the flow. Things are going to get much better. So that was your reading group number 4. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know down in the comments what you thought about it. And if you liked it, also give me a like and a subscribe. But yeah, I'm sending a lot of love your way, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.